The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as the final vote was tallied. Representatives of 317 species had unanimously agreed. Humans were to be classified as a Class 4 labor resource. Not sentient enough for rights, but clever enough to be useful. Earth would be harvested. "The decision is final," announced High Commander Vex, his translucent tentacles rippling with satisfaction. "Preparations begin immediately." Ambassador Trell from Proxima Centauri leaned toward his colleague. "Have you studied these humans? They seem rather unpredictable." "Irrelevant," replied Counselor Draz. "They've barely left their own planet. They'll be grateful for our technology even as we put them to work." How wrong they were. The invasion was textbook perfect. Massive ships darkened Earth's skies simultaneously over every major city. Resistance was brief and futile against such overwhelming technological superiority. Within 72 hours, human governments had surrendered. The processing began efficiently. Humans were categorized, implanted with control chips, and assigned to labor pools across the galaxy. Some mined rare minerals on gas giants. Others served as maintenance crews aboard massive starships. The most intelligent were placed in research facilities to solve problems their masters considered too mundane. Commander Ull of the harvesting fleet transmitted his report to the Council. Acquisition complete. Human compliance at acceptable levels. Minor incidents of resistance, but nothing our systems can't handle. What the report failed to mention were the whispers already spreading through the ranks. How human servants asked too many questions. How they examined alien technology with uncommon intensity. How they formed bonds across different labor groups despite language barriers and distance. 6 months after Earth's conquest, the first incident occurred. On mining station Zeta 9, human workers James and Marcus were repairing a coolant system when their supervisor, Overseer Krill, ordered them to bypass safety protocols to meet quotas. "The system needs a proper shutdown," James explained. "Otherwise, pressure will build up." "Follow orders, human," Krill hissed. They complied. 3 hours later, the station experienced a catastrophic coolant leak. As alarms blared, the humans efficiently organized an evacuation, saving hundreds of alien lives. Curiously, all emergency doors to the human quarters had malfunctioned open just before the leak, while their alien masters found themselves trapped behind security doors that mysteriously locked. The official report cited equipment failure. No one questioned why the only species who remembered to carry emergency breathers were human. Within a year, peculiar patterns emerged across the galaxy. On the administrative planet Kepler-7, the central computer system experienced what technicians called impossible glitches. Security footage would mysteriously erase. Resource allocations to human labor camps increased without authorization. Comfort settings in human quarters improved, while power occasionally failed in disciplinary centers. In research facilities, human scientists made breakthroughs that benefited their alien masters, but each innovation seemed to grant humans slightly more autonomy or access to systems. The transport ship Glorious Dominion reported that their human engineer, Tom, had accidentally improved their engine efficiency by 30%, while conducting routine maintenance. The same ship later found that weapon systems would mysteriously malfunction whenever disciplinary action against humans was scheduled. At the 3-year mark, High Commander Vex called an emergency council session. "We face a concerning situation," he began gravely. "Human productivity remains high, but incidents of equipment failure and system malfunctions have increased 8,000%. More troubling, these humans have developed methods of communicating despite our jamming technologies." "Ambassador," Trell spoke up. "My colony ship reports humans whistling to each other in patterns. When questioned, they claim it's just music." Counselor Draz scoffed. "They're just tools. Reprogram their control chips." "We've tried," replied Vex. "The chips show as functional, but compliance is dropping. And there's worse news. Some of our own people are beginning to question the ethics of our decision." Year 5. The first human rebellion erupted on Outpost Sigma. Human workers simply stopped, removed their control chips in a synchronized action, and presented demands for better treatment. When authorities attempted to use force, critical systems throughout the station shut down. Life support remained functional only in areas occupied by humans. A week later, the humans mysteriously had armed themselves with modified mining tools and improvised weapons. They didn't fight. They simply held their position and waited. Similar uprisings occurred across dozens of facilities. In each case, humans exhibited knowledge of systems they shouldn't have understood and wielded technology they shouldn't have been able to modify. Year 7 brought the revelation. During an inspection of a supposedly secure council database, technicians discovered an extensive shadow network spanning the galaxy, created and maintained by humans who had never been given access to such systems. The network contained frightening evidence. Humans had been systematically studying alien weaknesses, technology, and social structures. They had been selectively sabotaging systems while making improvements that rendered those same systems dependent on human expertise. Most alarming, humans had been quietly rewriting their control chip programming, not to disable the chips, but to feed false compliance data while they operated freely. By the 10th anniversary of Earth's conquest, the Galactic Council faced an unprecedented crisis. Humans held key positions throughout galactic infrastructure. Several alien species had formed alliances with their human workers. Attempts to replace humans resulted in systems mysteriously failing. The council chamber was no longer silent as High Commander Vex read the unthinkable proposal before them. Recognition of humans as a fully sentient species with equal rights, including the return of Earth to human control. We have no choice, Vex concluded. We either accept them as equals or watch our civilization crumble around us. They've made themselves essential. Ambassador Trell, who had been working closely with human advisors, added quietly, "They're not asking for revenge. They're asking for partnership." Perhaps we should have offered that from the beginning. The vote was once again unanimous, though this time tinged with humiliation rather than arrogance. Humanity would be free. As the council adjourned, an aide delivered a message to Vex from the human representative waiting outside. "We look forward to teaching you about something we call democracy." Vex shuddered. He suspected the real education was just beginning.